And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. We talked about our AEW Dynamite preview. Make sure you check that out on YouTube on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast playlist, also on the GSMC Sports Network. Looking ahead, Thursday night wrestling preview, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor. So yeah, let's dig on into it. But before we move on, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me your questions, comments, and concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Always remember to comment on this video, even once when it's published. It's, when all these videos are published, my segments and stuff like that. When I post shorts, make sure that you comment on that stuff. It's going to be pretty awesome. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, leave a positive review. We do love peace, love, and positivity 110%. Once again, the link is at the GSMCpodcast.net. Like, subscribe, follow the show, follow the network, be a part of this GSMC Sports bloodline. We have a bunch of sports podcasters that are very passionate about what they do, very enthusiastic, charismatic, and, they could charm the pants off you if you give them a shot. So, it's good. Make sure you, give that a second gander there. All right, so we're going to start off with TNA Impact. We are on the road to Slammiversary. Last week, Nick Nemeth, Steve Macklin secured their spots in the six-man elimination match at Slammiversary. Tonight, we have Frankie Kazarian going up against Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and Jake Something. Probably out of these four participants, the person the most that's getting probably the most attention in terms of social media and just wrestling media all over the globe is probably Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is absolutely on fire. I cannot open anything on my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and just have Joe Hendry video randomly pop up. Say his name, man. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. He's good. He's good. He's great inside the ring. He's great on the mic. He's like that baby face people can kind of get behind. So I see Frankie Kazarian defeating Mike Santana, although this would be huge. This would be absolutely insane if Mike Santana actually picks up this victory against Frankie Kazarian. But overall, I think I'm leaning toward a 55 to 45 chance of Frankie Kazarian moving on to Slammiversary in the Elimination Six-Man Championship match, or number one contenders match. Next, we have Joe Hendry against Jake Something. Jake Something is no one to kind of be overlooked here. He's kind of he kind of reminds me of that babyface. He reminds me of that babyface who never really got the push. So now he's a little kind of a little recluse. He was like, I don't really know where I stand really on the, on the TNA Impact roster. I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know if people look at me as a good guy. I don't know if people, obviously professional wrestling kind of has this niche approach where he could be a bad guy. People turn from heels to faces, from faces to heels in just a matter of months, in a matter of weeks. This could possibly happen. So should be interesting. Obviously, right now, Joe Hendry is the biggest face in terms of professional wrestling. Next, we have Spitfire's Dani Luna going against Spitfire's Jody Threat. It's kind of crazy. Is this the end of Spitfire? There were once TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Obviously, that is, obviously not enough. They seem like they are, kind of are at ends with each other. But ultimately, this very much could be the reason why these two superstars split. But this could also be a good reason for them to kind of test each other and become closer together. Like, who knows? A lot of possibilities. But, this is a tag team in the TNA Knockouts division that I really, really, really feel like, especially with the TNA, the tag team division, forget the knockouts, just the tag team division in and itself, you still need superstars to participate in tag team matches. And splitting up Spitfire right now, especially with everything going down with Queen Aminata and, MIT, and it just doesn't seem, and Red Velvet, it just doesn't seem practical. Doesn't seem practical to kind of make this move. So I can see these two sticking together at the end of the night. All right. Next, we have two of TNA's hottest X Division players collide tonight. One half of the Rascals, Trey Miguel, takes on Leon Slater. So, Leon Slater, I really like. I feel like he's kind of like the Javon Evans of, WWE NXT. Now you kind of have, you have one of the hottest, youngest X Division players in the world right now with Leon Slater going to defend himself against um, Trey Miguel, obviously a veteran on the TNA Impact, kind of roster there. But I don't know. Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Also, just to kind of reiterate, we do have a Slammiversary coming up soon. Right now, you don't really have anybody in the X division besides Mustafa Ali that, you know, can hold the title, be that face. I can't really mention anyone to defeat Mustafa Ali. Maybe somebody from WWE NXT comes in, or from the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, come in and try to dethrone Mustafa Ali. It's up in the air. Definitely 1,010% up in the air. But right now, he just seems unstoppable. The X Division champion, Mustafa Ali, is absolutely unstoppable. All right, and lastly, we're going to have the system. The system obviously runs TNA, but we have Eddie and Alisha Edwards to take on Matt Hardy and Rebecca Hardy. Two couples going at an intergender match. Should be pretty interesting, should be pretty awesome. Obviously, after the Hardy compound, the system basically hates Matt Hardy, and they're going to do anything and everything in their power to just slow down this momentum, to slow down the chance. I don't think he will ever really challenge Moose. I feel like he challenged him twice already. But, like I said, anything can happen. Should be interesting. Should be crazy. Make sure you watch TNA Impact on Access TV. Also on a TNA Impact Plus. Should be pretty badass. All right, so we're gonna move on to Ring of Honor Club 71. What's next for Athena? Billie Starkz and Lexy, Nair. For MIT, you have both titles. A lot of teams are going after Athena. A lot of people are going after Billie Starkz. But as of right now, MIT has both championships, and that's huge. That's huge, 1,010%. Because only God only knows when Lexi Nair finds her way into the TNA Knockout, no, the Ring of Honor Women's Division. So, kind of a uh, a coin toss. It's kind of crazy. My dyslexia strikes again. But, anyways, moving on. We also have Lee Johnson after defeating Alex Reynolds last week on TNA Impact. Looks to build momentum. And Lee Johnson is definitely one of the more, not, I don't want to say that because that sounds kind of mean, kind of more of that they're killing it, but it could be a potential bust, maybe. But Lee Johnson right now, he's on the right track. He's on the right track. Very, very delicate bookings from here on out. Should be interesting. Should be pretty badass to find out his full potential. If obviously you need your creative team for Ring of Honor to kind of push you to the limits, but ultimately make you into the superstar that you kind of know you are, Lee Johnson. So, should be pretty crazy. Next, we're going to see Marina, the Problem Shafir, continue to make her statement in the Ring of Honor Women's Division. Last week, you saw Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett plead Tony Khan for a competitive challenge. Be careful what you wish for. The system, be careful what you wish for. Definitely one of those classic cases where this could, end up blowing up in the system's face, which ultimately lead to them dropping the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. All right, and we will see. We will see. I personally feel like we will see a team from AEW come out to answer the call. Maybe somebody from New Japan Professional Wrestling. I don't think the NWA is there yet because I know that they're looking for an invasion role, but it's huge. This is huge. I feel like this is going to be one of the best, one of the best promos. Could be probably the best storyline within Ring of Honor if it's done right. But once again, you kind of have to put your money on, kind of have to bet the house and kind of all the insurance policies on Tony Khan. So, and that's not the easiest thing to do. So, all right, and something to look forward to on Ring of Honor Supercard 71. Make sure we check out Mark Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Still has a lot of juice left in him. Nobody's been able to kind of take him down. Super awesome. Mark Briscoe is definitely one of the best Ring of Honor superstars on the roster, and it was a treat to see highlights against him. And one of my favorites on the Ring of Honor roster, the Ring of Honor World TV Champion, Kyle Fletcher. I wanted to say Bob Thatcher. That was weird. It's like Bob Thatcher. Bob Thatcher. No, like that sounds like a makeup name. Right? That's crazy. And last thing to kind of check up on is what's next? Speaking of Kyle Fletcher, what's next for Kyle Fletcher? A lot of stuff could be said that Kyle Fletcher wasn't ready for Mark Briscoe. He, had limited time to kind of prepare. He kind of has his head a little consumed with Don Callis right now, which, they're trying to subtly let Will Ospreay out. But, I don't really, I'm not going to bank my money on Will Ospreay walking away from the Don Callis family, smooth or cleanly. So, kind of crazy. Make sure you check out TNA Impact. Make sure you watch Ring of Honor, Honor Club live tonight. Check it out. 4th of July wrestling. Nothing like it. It's pretty badass. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our third segment, Filled Money in the Bank cash-ins when we return. So, hey, do not go anywhere.